What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here playing The Long Dark once again, and my tummy is... I'm rumbly in my tumbly right now. I'm taking cues from Winnie the Pooh, and unfortunately my tummy is letting loose. Now, what we need to do in the beginning of this episode is we're going to start out with something that is the most thrilling thing that I have ever seen in video gaming, and it is called a little thing called inventory management, and I'm kind of like dithering around the point because I was being sort of facetious with you. So what we're going to do right now, let's go ahead and we're just going to dump off everything that we don't need, that like anything that has a lot of weight to it that we don't want to carry around with us needs to go. And so for example, like kerosene tanks, things like that, they all need to be sort of disseminated throughout our house. So newsprint rolls, I'm going to try and keep things a little bit organized, but we need to get rid of the wood first and foremost because that stuff is heavy and it's probably going to like break our back or cause us to like pull something, and then we're going to be limping around the tundra just being like, oh, my back, my neck and my back, just kind of having all kinds of problems. And so let's drop that over here, although it appears as though I've gone through a lot of my wood throughout the evening. It feels like 2 degrees centigrade inside, which is great. That is pleasant. Definitely running the risk of toes falling off and everything else, I suppose. Let's go ahead, and I kind of want to get into the reclaiming system where we start like breaking things down into their constituent parts. But first things first, let's put some of the tinder over here. I don't tend to sleep on this side of the room anyways, and so for organizational purposes, I think it works a little bit better. How are y'all doing today? I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing alright today. Like, typically the last week, I don't know. I've been iffy the last week or so, but I think I'm pulling it back together. At least I'm trying to. I don't know if there's going to be a zipper on either end for me to finish it off, but wait, where did my MREs back? Oh. Wait, I thought I ate that already. I just loaded my save, so I'm not sure what's going on right now. Apparently my MRE is perfectly fine, so I guess you like take a big bite out of it. It sort of reminds me, I had this thing back in the day. I used to go to like survival conferences and things with my dad, and they had a guy that was handing out these, they were called calorie bricks, and they were exactly as appetizing as you might think. And essentially all it was like this big brown brick of just mass and matter. Like, I don't really know what it is, and I don't know what it's made out of, but it's basically like this amorphous brick. It's kind of like a rounded edge brick of just brownness. It kind of looks almost like, if you've ever seen like chaw or like chewing tobacco, it looks like it's sort of made out of that, but it tastes kind of, I don't know, like cinnamony. It tastes very herbal when you eat it, but it's something like each brick had like 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 calories in it, and the brick was only about the size of like an actual brick used to make a house. And so technically, they said that you were just supposed to slice off like a centimeter of it each day and just eat that and you'll be okay, and it's called a survival brick or something like that. Let's go ahead and we're going to drop these toques over here. We really don't need to be carrying around a lot of this stuff. I haven't played around with any of the sewing systems or anything, but I'm assuming we'll get to do that in this playthrough because we seem to be doing really well as far as survival goes. We're sort of falling apart on our calorie intake, but since our MRE appears to either bug out or have worked in a different fashion than I thought it worked, I suppose we'll just keep it on us. Let me go ahead and dump off some equipment here. I'm kind of wondering if the game saved, because I thought we were like overburdened or something when we got back in the previous episode, so I'm not sure what's going on right here. We're still wearing a sweater, long underwear. Actually, yeah, where's our jacket? I don't think it saved the previous. That's weird. Yeah, it didn't save, so we're missing a bunch of stuff right now, interestingly enough. Let's go ahead and put the toque back on, and we're going to have to go back through and investigate what went wrong here. So that explains why our calorie values are way higher than they were previously. It's because we actually are set back. We're 16 hours, yeah, so that's actually sort of interesting. I think we may have to re-scavenge. I guess it maybe saves at the beginning of each day? I'll have to think about the way that the game saves or something, because it looks like we've definitely lost some progress. I recorded the last 3 episodes in a batch, and then I started this one today, 24 hours later, and it appears as though it didn't really do a very good job of saving. So, all things to be expected in alpha gameplay, honestly. It's not something that I had thought about, but it's not something that, like, blows my mind either. Like, I'm not sitting here with my brain hanging out the side of my head just like, oh my god, it's all over. I can no longer rationalize what has happened. Like, I get it. I totes get it. Let's go back out here then, and I suppose that's what we did is we made full rounds in the previous episode. It's a little bit disappointing that I have to do it again, but I don't mind doing it again if I have to, so I suppose we'll sprint out here onto the ice. The lovely viewers in the first video said that you can tell if ice is thick enough because it makes like a creaky sound if you step on it, and it's not thick enough. That's how you know. I don't know. I didn't grow up anywhere with snow. Seriously, I have seen snow like maybe 10 times in my entire life. It's just not something we get where I'm at. I'm sort of in the northern Central Valley-ish, East Bay-ish area where basically the only 2 seasons that we have are hot as shit, like 125 degrees hot, and then the other season is monsoon, where it just rains for weeks on end. If all of these still have stuff in them, so yeah, they have the same stuff too. Unfortunately, I apologize, but I guess we're going to have a little bit of a recap of the previous episode. We're going to do all the things that we already did, because we really need like that jacket and everything that we had before. And so as I recall, the good things that we wanted were all over in these houses. We made like a full circle of the entire thing. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in a timely manner. I'm going to try and sprint my way out here. Part of me is tempted to do a cut and re-achieve everything that we had before, but you know what? There's not that much to show off in this game anyways. I keep seeing people on YouTube who are on like episode 25, and I'm like, there's not that much content in the game from what I've seen. Like, you play it a couple times and you get used to it. What have we here? We have some socks, sir. You don't know what a sock is? You've lived in modern society for how long, and you have no idea what a sock is? It's a little mind-blowing, my friend. It's a little mind-blowing, but you're gonna slide those right on your pedicles, and they're gonna make you feel alright. Right as rain, right as snow. Cool as... Wait, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to think of... I was gonna say cool as... I'm not gonna run over by that wolf over there because it seems to be in sort of a... I don't know. Anytime I see my dog's tail in that position, I assume that he has to take a duke, because he kind of holds his tail up. I don't have a dog right now. I used to have a dog. I gave it to my parents. Dead guy! How's it going, dead guy? You're looking a little bit... So he tried to make himself a blanket out of snow, but it just didn't work out. Let us search him!
I could use this.
Ooh! A down ski jacket. That ski jacket is totally down for whatever adventures we have in the future. Alright, let's put on the down ski jacket right now. And that should help out a little bit. And it feels like minus 21 degrees. That helped us not at all. It still feels like we're freezing to death. Oh wait, there's a wool hat. Let's wear that. That's way better than the toque. So some stuff appears to have saved, but other things look like they have just vanished on us. I suppose I'll run through and I'll do a quick inventory after this episode just to make sure that we can get all the things back that we already had. We'll throw on some wool socks. We've only got a +4 warmth bonus right now, so chances are we're going to be dropping in status fairly shortly. Our condition is going to be just disappearing. I may actually try and run around the edges of all these locations because there's dead guys like everywhere in this game. And if you miss a couple of them, sometimes they have really good stuff on them. We're only going to be wearing this ski jacket for a couple minutes, because there's a better jacket up inside all those campsites as we saw previously. I love it when I open something and the meter goes really slow because I know there's going to be something good in it. The second that the meter starts moving really slow, I'm just like, yes, loot! Like, I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be awesome. I guess, what are we carrying right now? We've got 18 kilograms. Our hunger's a little bit high. I have kind of been reading around and trying to figure out how to play the game better so that we survive longer, and a lot of people have told me that you can keep your hunger status a lot lower than I've been keeping it in the last couple episodes, so I might try and let that dither a little bit. The only problem with that is it will allow your condition to drop down to like 20%, 30%-ish, and that puts you at risk for an instant death from a wolf if you don't pay attention, and I'm not very good at paying attention, and so that is a very real possibility. Looting things that we've already looted.
Needs this anymore.
It's like doing the same thing we've already done, except I don't remember what we looted, and so it makes me happy all over again. Is there anything over here? There was a jacket in one of these, and so I would prefer to find that because it was one of those, I don't know, it looks like the jackets that sailors wear when they have like their Donegal beards. That's what it reminds me of. It's like one of those sailors' jackets that, I don't know, like a lobster farmer or something, or a lobster fisherman would wear. It's very manly and tough looking. It appears as though the clasps would have, you know, like gun shells as their means of holding the two sides together, I guess. Is there anybody underneath the snow blanket over here? Nope, nobody underneath the snow blanket. Damn it, why can't more of you die? I need more people to die in a horrible frigid winter, so that I almost said a horrible frigid wizard. I have lost all control of my tongue lately. I have no idea what my tongue does anymore. I just kind of move along.
So cold in my life.
Oh, I bet you could feel a little colder, amigo, because you're at 97% condition, which largely leads me to believe that most of the suffering is ahead of you rather than behind you. Let's pick up the fir firewood. We can't break down any of this stuff, which really sort of surprises me. I wish that we could. We've got a bunch of food. There's a pack in here, so I'm going to go ahead and search the pack for beef jerky, a toque, and if nothing else, we can go ahead and break that down for spare parts later on. Is there anything in that little bucket right there? Is there anything under the bed? I don't see anything under the bed, nor do I A, B, or D anything under the bed, but nonetheless, we shall walk away. Looks like a fog rolled in. Interesting. Alright, well at least I know where I am, so we don't have to worry about dying out here. Let's go ahead and search the remainder of these buildings. This one, I think, had a jacket in it. I don't know. I am a little bit lost at the moment. It's also very, very dark. I might consider, like, turning up the brightness real fast because I can't see worth anything. Let's see here. Field of view is at maximum. Oh, good. There's no darkness control. It's probably, like, right here. Every time I do something like that, they're like, oh, it's right in front of you in the comments. Watch. Somebody be like, oh, I totally saw it. You had to hold down the F, the C, and your right click, and then the brightness meter comes up, and I'm like, wow. How did I not know about that?
Food.
All you can think about is food. Well, then you sound like me most days because I love eating. Eating is one of my favorite things in the entire world. I look forward to it. I really sincerely do. After I cut down, because I used to be really, really husky. There we go. That's what I wanted. The quality winter coat. So let's go ahead and throw on the quality winter coat. Quality winter coat? Where are you? There you are. And if we wear that, we've got 5 to our bonus now, which... it feels like 40 degrees. Hooray! How does that make you feel? But anyways, we're going to go back out here. Let's see if we can find anything that is useful. We got an accelerant. That's not anything. There's another plastic container, though, so let's run through here.
What have we here?
A granola bar, which is cloaked in darkness so that I might not identify it. It's probably made out of, like, turds and spit or something, because we can't read the nutritional ingredients thing on the back, but it'll be fun. Did I loot this? I did. I totes looted that already. Alright, and I think there's another group of cabins off and over here to the left that we're going to investigate. Can I take cattails? I like cattails. It's weird that cattails are growing in the winter. And there's a wolf over there. Not trying to get bit right now. Definitely not trying to get bit off of. I'm just not a good material for being bit. I think I can go around this path on the back, but it's a little bit foggy right now. We're freezing and starving. Well, I'm going to let my calories just sort of stay low for a little bit, and then we'll top them back out with the MRE when we need to. But I think I can cut around the back over here. I don't see any dead guys hidden off here in the snow. Typically, you see their little arms and legs sticking out before anything else. And you'd be like, oh, there he is. There he is. And over here, I think there was a bunch of wood or something. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed that we have to do this all over again in this episode. I quit the game as I normally would, and it didn't appear to have saved, so... I know you'll die if you don't warm up soon. That's what cold means. We've got mittens. Okay, so let's put the mittens on. Do we already have mittens, though? I thought we already had mittens. I think the gear might be a little bit different. I'm not so sure. Oh, wow, those give you a lot of warmth bonus. Okay, so now we're up to +6. It feels like 5 degrees centigrade. That's right, we're moving on up.
Looks like this has been here a while.
What's this over here? We'll go and check under the beds, even though I don't think I've ever found anything under the bed. I still check it, just in case. Just put a little check next to bed. Has it been searched? Check-a-rooney. Let's sprint on. Oh, man, I got stopped by this wooden board patio. I do wish that you could break down a lot of this stuff around here, because there are a lot of good things around that you could use for... There we go, reclaimed wood. How are we looking on our weight allotment right now? We're pretty close to the edge, and we may jump off very, very shortly. But we've only got 1 building left to search, so hopefully we won't pick up too many useful things, although I do really recall us being just kind of screwed when it came to our weight previously, so... This guy is apparently hoarding nuts and bolts over here. No judgments, hoard whatever you want. I mean, sometimes it's cool. When I was a little kid, we used to have like a sock, and we would tie off the sock, and we would just fill it with metal stuff, and then we would pretend that it was full of like gold coins, because imagination. But then every now and again, you would like jump off the stairs, and you would have it, because we had like these little belts, right? And so you would wrap the sock around a belt, like, and it would have all of the little nuts and bolts and whatever, the washers, to make it sound like it had money in it, or gold in it, or like adventure treasure, you know what I mean? But you would jump off the stairs, and that was always a terrible idea, because then the sock would stretch and be like, ka-chink, and whack you in the knee, and you'd just be like, oh, God! And then you'd have a down vest. Leaves the arms exposed, but is very, very light. I think we might be overweight now, too. No, we're still good? Alright, well, I'm okay with that. None of these places have a furnace, so I don't think we're going to be able to bed down out here. I may take a scenic route back to where we came from, back to whence we came, although that might be ill-advised right now based on the fact that the criteria by which I make that value judgment are largely related to the fact that the fog has rolled in, and that's troublesome. It's not late just yet. Can I climb up this? Because it looks like this sort of connects. Does it? No, it doesn't connect. Okay, well, it looked like it connected for a second, but I guess I can just go up around the edge of the snowbank and go up here. I'm just going to try and keep the lake in sight, I suppose, because when you've got limited visibility like this, the first rule of limited visibility is that you don't want to travel in it. Getting lost in a fog or in a haze or anything like that is very, very bad for you. Being lost is like a huge, huge killing blow towards your survival. So if you ever run the risk of getting lost or staying tight at a place where you have supplies, obviously you should go with the latter option rather than the former. But seeing as we're already out here wandering when the fog rolled in, what we want to do is use a point of reference that we can't wander away from, that it becomes very, very difficult to lose. So this lake, traveling around the edges of it is a very, very solid strategy for getting back to where you came. However, wandering off in these weird little channels and things back here, not a good way to stay alive. Terrible way to stay alive. Also, another survival tip, if you're going to be going anywhere, you should tell at least one person where you are going, because that's a big killer too. People will, so let's say for example you get fed up with just like modern life, you know, you're done with your job, you're just like, I need to get out of here, I need to have some alone time, I need to do my thing, and you don't tell anybody. You live by yourself and you just go on a camping trip or whatever, and being like me, you don't like to go to touristy campsites, and so you pick a spot that's out like in a national park somewhere, out in the middle of the boonies, and you just stake out there, but you haven't told anybody where you're going. Tell somebody where you're going, seriously. Like, a lot of people will die out in the wilderness because just they don't tell anybody where they're going, and so the search and rescue teams have no idea where to look for them when something goes wrong. Tell somebody where you're going. Just one person. Just be like, yo, casually in conversation, be like, hey, I'm going over here in this area. I've left you this little map with a circle around the area that I was thinking of hiking into, so if I don't come back on this day, maybe send somebody to come find me, preferably with a large dog with a good snuffler. You know, that's what I call a dog's nose. It's the snuffler. That's what I call it. Whereas, like, on a kitty, so for example, on a cat, I've got, like, an anatomy of a cat that I've been working on for, like, a long time, and I was going to make a kid's book out of it or something. I don't really know. I was going to do something with it, and it was going to be awesome. And I'm not so sure we are in the right spot right now. Our condition really isn't falling off that badly. I think... Oh, there's a deer over there. Just hanging out on the ice, going for some hoofy ice skating. I think it's going to be right up here, and then we'll be alright. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I wasn't disoriented or anything. I do wish that this fog would go away, though. I am interested in going off over that direction and checking out the train cart. I was very, very interested in checking over there to see if the rifle had spawned, because it seems to sort of rotate around. This place is looted, though, right? Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to organize the house right now. We're going to try and put our firewood over... I really wish that we would clean up this corpse. I wish that there was a way that I could get rid of that corpse right there. It creeps me out. I can't sleep next to a dead guy. I can't use him as like a human blanket or anything. It doesn't work like that for me. Let's go ahead and we'll drop off... We have reclaimed wood too, so we'll drop both those because those are reasonably heavy. We've also got basic gloves. We'll drop that over in the other corner with the toques and everything. But for now, the fur firewood, we'll drop that. Give ourselves a little bit of leeway when it comes to weight. We're going to keep the flares with us because we may have to run off random... wolves and things like that. The top layers, unfortunately, I wish you could stack layers a little bit better because the game doesn't let you optimize outside the box very well for... Oh, we can actually switch into these jeans. These jeans are a lot better. Let's wear those ones. They give us 0.3 more cold resist, so I think that's going to work out better for us. Let's drop all the tinder over here. And so we'll drop our... Let's see. Oh, we got another fire log? Okay, alright. Well, let me drop the fire log then. I thought I only had one, but I guess I had two. Okay, so we'll drop that right there. Anything else in here that I can use to make a fire? Anything? Any more wood? If you are made of wood, holler it out. Become erect in my presence and let me know that you are in my backpack. In my pack. Now we'll go back down here. We're going to drop off all the tinder. So we've got a tinder plug. We've got... Let's see here. We've got something around here that I can use. I know we do. We have newsprint rolls, so I'm so glad that we have a lot of tinder right now because tinder tends to be really sort of my limiting reagent. You can get endless wood by just going outside and looking at nature and just popping yourself a woody for the whole thing. You can actually just search for wood. I kind of got sidetracked right there, and I went gross with it. I decided to go gross with it for right now. Let's drop that newspaper right there. It's not very heavy, but every little bit helps. What is so heavy in here that's sort of slowing us down? It's got to be the kerosene or something. So let's go ahead and I'm going to drop the kerosene over here as well, which is... Where is it? The water's pretty heavy too. Yeah, the water's gonna weigh us down, but I don't want to risk leaving my water behind. Never travel without water. He's saying his stomach feels like an empty pit right now. And I'd be like, no, that's just your conscience. We were a terrible person before. This is all karmic. It's a karmic backlash. I don't know if any of you had realized that yet, but our plane had crashed in a quote-unquote geomagnetic storm because we were a really, really bad person. Like, we kicked a baby on the way into here. We, like, chucked a puppy. Like, we were doing all kinds of terrible stuff on our way in here. There we go. We want to drop that. Got the MRE. I'll probably eat that right now to top myself off. And so there it goes. Our hunger's looking pretty good at the moment. Pretty good. I think we're going to hang in there for a little while. We've got a lot of food. And I think my best bet with the food is probably going to be... I wish you could actually place stuff like you can in Skyrim or whatever and actually just organize your house for survival, because I am the type of person that does that. I have no problem admitting I like to play house in video games. I like to play house. You know, sometimes you got to play house a little bit. We'll drop off all the food over here because it's weighing us down quite a bit too. Energy bar will keep on us as a backup along with the granola, but everything else we can just kind of leave it here. Especially since we're carrying water and stuff already. So I think on this run we got a lot more lucky with the food quantities that we found. We found a lot of goodies. I'm really hoping the game decides to save today. I'm actually a little bit terrified. So there is everything that we have to survive off of. And in fact, that looks like a cornucopia. If you were really in a survival situation, that amount of food, you could probably make it last for a really, really long time. Like, if you mess this up, I'm not really sure what to say. That's enough food to where I know personally that I wouldn't be worried. Over here, we've got... close. Let's go ahead and we'll drop the cotton socks, the down ski jacket, the... oh, sorry, we didn't even put on the... wait, what? The down ski jacket is on us. Where's the quality winter coat? There we go. I thought I put that on already. But whatever. We're probably going to have to figure out a way to fix this as well. The quality wool coat... or, I'm sorry, yeah, the quality wool coat is actually looking a little bit beat up, so we may need to come up with some kind of strategy for repairing it. It's got like 21% durability left. Cotton socks are on too. What? I put on the wool socks. Why are the wool socks? This game is starting to mess with me. I'm a little bit confused right now. I'm not going to let it get to me though. Like, I'm not going to allow myself to be overly confused, but I'm definitely starting to feel a little confused. King around like half our max weight. We'll drop those jeans. Carrying around scrap metal, which really sort of seems pointless. I'll drop a sewing kit over here too, because there's no need for us to be carrying around like 5 sewing kits. We have the world's heaviest box of matches over here. We'll get rid of both of the toques. Give us a little bit of weight allocation. What's weighing us down right now? It's got to be something around here that's really sort of contributing to... got basic boots. Basic hiking boots. Oh, we need to get better... yeah. We really, really, really need to find ourselves a better pair of shoes. Alright, well, before time runs out, let's head back on outside. But unfortunately, right now, it's time for this episode to end. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle in redoing the thing that we had already done. In the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to run off and check the train for a gun. If we can get ourselves a gun, we can secure our long-term future fairly easily. And I think we'll have a really, really good go at staying alive over the long term. I'll see you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody. And as always, hi-do.